Hey everyone, welcome to the Cashing In on Creativity Show. This is the show where we showcase artists, authors, musicians, learn about their life, learn how to improve your business, and get educated so that you can be successful in your own creative business. So check us out. Are you looking to work at a trade show and set up your booth to try to make some money as an artist? There's a lot of things to think about. In this episode, we're going to share with you some tips to make sure that you're set up for your next trade show event. Enjoy. There. So what happens if you are planning or looking to get into trade shows? And although this one is focused on authors, there is many, this works for artists, basically any type of trade show. They're all the same, a lot of the points that you need. So first of all, think about what you're trying to do and check out the show. One rule I've done many trade shows in my year. One rule I've always had is to try and attend the show first before you became a vendor. Now, this isn't always possible because sometimes shows come up automatically and you don't know what's going to happen. But you really want to try and attend the show, see a layout for the show, see the type of vendors are there, see the type of audience that is there, and then, become a vendor. That way you can check out costs. You can see if it's, because you want to see booth location is probably a prime thing. If the booth is on a corner, and all of these cost more money. Okay. All of these cost more money. Just saying you're at the show does not necessarily mean there's tons of visibility. And even some of the shows, depending on the show and how long they've been going and the size and all of that kind of stuff, what marketing they're doing, can determine the audience. So even though they've had big numbers in the past, doesn't mean every show is going to be like that, especially if it's an outdoor show, because weather now comes into effect, wind, and trust me, I have done shows on very nice days when there's not a cloud in the sky, but a breeze comes up and blows your tent around the corner. I have seen this many times. So you want to make sure that you understand the show, understand what you need. I see people come to shows that have like a little table, no tent or anything like this, and it's an 8-hour show in the sunlight, and the sun moves. And this is again why you want to start looking at a show and determining if that's the right show for you before you actually attend. So something to look out there. Bundle your stuff, much like Richard did here. If you've got just one book, it's fine. What's going to happen next? Can you give them a following? Are you planning on going to go to the show each year with something different? This is extremely important to think about and to try and do so that you have more than one product. Remember, not everybody's going to show. Now, this will be dependent on what you're doing. A book is not such a big thing. If you're an artist, a visual artist that's doing paintings, and all you have are the $2,000, $3,000 paintings, not everybody's walking around with that kind of cash in their pocket. Do you have the small things that you can sell, like a $20 card set or something along that line? I remember my first show, which was way back in 2003 or 4 was the first show I put on, I believe. It was my very first show. And I remember of all the paintings I had, I sold a few originals, but most of the money was made with small cards and prints. So have something for everybody at the show and try to have more than one product. If you don't have very much, you may want to think about partnering with somebody that has a product that's similar to yours. Maybe somebody that's got different books, but they're in the same genre, or something along that line is a great way to try and team stuff up. Make sure you are present. This I don't know how many times I see. First of all, if you are at your booth, look engaged. I don't care if you're bored out of your mind, look engaged. If someone comes to talk to you, be enthusiastic. I like to stand up. I hate sitting at booths. I prefer to stand up. So you may want to think about having a higher table or something along that line. Stand up, engage. Don't be afraid to take selfies, whatever. You're there to have fun. Not everything is a sale. You're just there to have fun with the people. This has been my go-to thing my whole life. Just have fun, and you'll have a good time, and just engage. And if you're trying to collect names or something, I see a lot of people who are sitting at a booth. They're on their phone. They're not even looking up. They don't even know that I was walking by. There's going to be a lot of people that are browsing. You're best off to have a goal, but don't necessarily make it monetary. monetary. Have a goal to meet 3 people, get 1 business card, whatever the goal is that fits for you. Maybe 1 sale. A lot of authors go, well, my goal is to, sell out and make the amount for my booth or whatever. Well, that's fine, but your sale may not come that day. A lot of people may browse, but then purchase later on. So that's why monetary sales on booths and stuff, trade shows, are not necessarily the way to do it. What should you look for at different trade shows? Probably the audience. Is the audience a fit with who you're doing? And you've got to watch shows that are general in nature, because a lot of general shows, you get people there. We used to have a truck show that we went to all the time. The trucks were the big thing. Then they started bringing in more music, and it became more of a music show. The audience changed, and then everybody was coming in from the town, and that changed it to more of a community show. Nothing wrong with that, but the trucks part died because the people who were there for the trucks and the vendors there were not getting the type of people that they wanted in the show. So audience is probably the biggest thing. Cost would be the second thing. How much do these shows cost? Again, it's not just the cost of the booth. A lot of people go, oh, that's not a bad show. It only cost me $200 to get in. Yes, but you have to have a booth. Do you have a table? Do you have chairs? Not all of that stuff comes with it. Do you have a tent? Now your booth cost just went up to $1,000 just for the basics. And then if you're thinking of promotional material and marketing stuff and business, all that stuff takes money, and it also takes time. So do you need more than one person to run the booth? Can you do it on your own? Do you need somebody else there? If you go to the washroom, is someone going to steal all of the product off your table? So these are the kind of things you want to look for if you are planning on being at a trade show booth and doing there. I like to go around, like I say, and visit a show, look at other authors' setups, look at what can make you different without looking kind of, some people just like to splash everything. That's not necessarily better. I know it's about having your name over, and we're all, so for me, I purchase a lot of banners and stuff that can be put up in different ways depending on the show. If you buy some of these solid trade show styles that can only kind of go one way, if someone gives you a booth in another direction, I remember I had my granddaughter out to a recent show, and we have our tent, we're putting up banners, and I would have her run. I go, can you see the banner from that way? And then can you see the banner from over there? Running all over the place. But that's how it works. So whatever you're doing, I hope it's successful. Go to trade shows. That is the most solid way to build your business, is through networking and actually meeting people. So go there to meet people. Go there to let people know about your stuff without being over the top. Feel free to have general conversations. And one thing you have to watch is if you have friends and family that are coming, that's great. Just don't let them monopolize your time at the booth. You want to try and meet everybody. And if one person is kind of carrying on those long conversations, you might have to kind of try and end it in a good way. But just make sure that you're there for everybody. You're trying to meet everybody. Do not look bored. If you look bored at the trade show, everybody else will be bored, and that's not what we're here for. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully that's some trade show tips. Hey, folks, I hope that was helpful. Make sure you subscribe to the Cashing In on Creativity podcast on whatever platform you're listening to us on. And I know that you're going to get some good information out of the artists, authors, and musicians that we interview here on the show. Show is sent wherever you get it, and follow us on our socials as well. Enjoy, and I hope your trade show is a big success. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the show. Hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe and follow the show on our socials. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X.